Good morning children, this is Aisha again. In my last video, I gave an explanation about the 4 different types of chemical reactions. And today, I'm going to explain you about redox reactions in detail. So what are these redox reactions? These are nothing but the reactions in which reduction and oxidation happen simultaneously, and such reactions are called as redox reactions. So in order to understand more about these reactions, you need to first understand what is oxidation and what is reduction. Redox reaction, as you can see in the name itself, red stands for reduction and ox stands for oxidation. I repeat, redox reactions are those reactions in which both reduction and oxidation happen simultaneously. Let us learn about oxidation and reduction in detail before going to the examples of redox reactions. Oxidation in terms of oxygen is nothing but addition of oxygen. What is oxidation? It is addition of oxygen, and reduction is the addition of hydrogen. Reduction is addition of hydrogen. Removal of hydrogen also is oxidation. Removal of hydrogen is also oxidation, whereas removal of oxygen is also reduction. It might sound a little confusing to you, but try and understand, children. I try saying it in different words now. Please do concentrate. In terms of oxygen, oxidation is addition of oxygen and reduction is removal of oxygen. Can you see? Only in terms of oxygen I am talking about. Oxidation is addition of oxygen and reduction is removal of oxygen. In terms of hydrogen, if you talk, it is removal of hydrogen and it is addition of hydrogen. Can you remember this in a better manner? Like this? What is oxidation? Addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. Whereas reduction is removal of oxygen and addition of hydrogen. Quite opposite, isn't it? Now, not just oxygen and hydrogen. If a non-metal is added, it is also oxidation. So, addition of non-metal or electronegative element, nothing but an element which gains electrons and becomes negatively charged. Such element, if it is added, that is also oxidation. Here, quite opposite to it, it's the addition of metal or electropositive element. So what is an electropositive element now? Can you guess? Yes, it is an element that is capable or have a tendency of getting a net positive charge by the loss of electrons. Yes. Did you understand this thing, children? It's the addition of a non-metal. Addition of non-metal is oxidation and addition of metal is reduction. Now, removal of metal. So, it's removal of metal, oxidation, and here you can see removal of non-metal. Quite opposite, right? So, if you get one set perfectly, you can automatically get the other set. One more thing is there. Loss of electrons. So, it is loss of electrons. If the electrons are lost by a substance, then it is said to be oxidized or oxidation. Here it is gain of electrons, quite opposite. Gain of electrons is reduction. So there's one mnemonic actually to remember this, which is oil. Oxidation is loss of electrons. Oxidation is loss of electron. Reduction is gain of electron. Rig. Oil, rig. So you won't have any confusion whether it is a loss or gain. Now let us consider these examples with respect to our table. First we have here copper oxide and hydrogen react to form copper and water. So you need to always consider the reactant side and not the product side, because it is the reactants which are either gaining or losing different things and forming the products. Now let us see what is happening to the copper oxide. Copper oxide is changing to copper. So what is happening over here? Oxygen is lost. Oxygen is lost and it became copper. So let us see. If oxygen is lost, then what is it? It's reduction. Removal of oxygen. So we can say that copper oxide is getting reduced. Now let's consider what is happening to hydrogen. So what is happening to hydrogen over here? Oxygen is getting added. So addition of oxygen plus O2, addition of oxygen is nothing but oxidation. So we can say that hydrogen is getting oxidized here. So which one is getting oxidized here? Hydrogen. And which one is getting reduced? It is copper oxide. CuO getting reduced and H2 getting oxidized. So you can see over here that H2 is helping CuO to get reduced, to lose oxygen. So H2 is considered as reducing agent. H2 is reducing agent because it is helping CuO to get rid of the oxygen. So it is helping CuO to reduce. It's a reducing agent. And CuO, what is happening? CuO is giving oxygen to H2. So it is helping H2 to get oxidized. So it's called as oxidizing agent. I repeat, what is happening to CuO? Copper oxide is changing to copper. That means an oxygen atom is lost. So loss of oxygen or removal of oxygen is nothing but called as reduction. Removal of oxygen is nothing but reduction. So here CuO is said to be reduced to copper. Whereas hydrogen, it is getting oxidized here because it is getting an oxygen atom added. H2 is changing to H2O. Addition of oxygen is nothing but oxidation. So H2 is said to be oxidized. H2 is helping CuO to get rid of this oxygen atom. So it is called as a reducing agent. And CuO is helping hydrogen to get oxidized. So it is an oxidizing agent. Easy to remember that the substance which is getting reduced will become oxidizing agent, and the substance which is getting oxidized is nothing but reducing agent. Similarly, let us consider the other example. Hydrogen sulfide and chlorine react to form hydrochloric acid and sulfur. Let us see what is happening to H2S. H2S is changing to sulfur. What is happening in this reaction? Hydrogen is lost. Hydrogen is removed. So what is removal of hydrogen called? Removal of hydrogen is called as oxidation. So I can say that H2S is getting oxidized. Whereas chlorine, what is happening to chlorine? Hydrogen is getting added. So we can say that hydrogen, this chlorine, is getting reduced. Understood, children? Removal of hydrogen is oxidation and addition of hydrogen is reduction. Removal of hydrogen oxidized, addition of hydrogen reduced, right? So can you guess which one is an oxidizing agent now? The substance which is getting reduced. So Cl2 is the oxidizing agent and H2S is the reducing agent. Let us see another example. Can you guess what is happening to Cu? Cu is changing to CuO. So here what is happening? Oxygen is getting added. So addition of oxygen is nothing but oxidation. So I can say that copper is getting oxidized. But what about oxygen here? Oxygen is changing to CuO. That means what is happening here? A metal is added to oxygen, right? Cu is added to oxygen. So if a metal is added to oxygen, then it becomes, see here, addition of a metal is nothing but reduction. So I can say that oxygen is getting reduced. Now Cu is getting oxidized. Oxygen is getting reduced. Now what will be oxidizing agent? Good, it is oxygen and Cu will become reducing agent. Hope it is clear, children. I shall be giving some more equations to practice on in the group. Thank you.